What's up, guys? Barry Gaming here, back with some more Idle Heroes, and today we're going to show you something a little cool. No, it's not going to be on my account. We're going to fight them on my account, but there is an absolutely amazing team composition that has been made up that absolutely destroys my energy feed team, like completely destroys it. Not a chance. I think I've won one fight out of the last like 20 or 30 battles against it. The team is by Jesus is here, part of our top guild here on Android. It is such an amazing team, and there's really one big highlight kind of too. Eloise is a monster in endgame PvP with a V4 setup with correct ways. Now I'm trying to figure out exactly what artifacts are on them. We'll do a follow-up video after this one to maybe show you the exact setups that all the heroes have. But it even includes an Aida. Like, absolutely crazy that Aida and Eloise are in an endgame PvP team. Just completely busted. So let's jump right into it and take a look at some action. Okay, so quick preface to the fights we're going to do. Of course, we have our full V4 Transcendence team. We're also running two V4 Rogans. They're basically running full setups with a speed attack stone. They both have the energy artifacts here. They both have an upgraded skin, I believe. I think they both have the fully upgraded skin. And then, of course, we're running both of our Jara and our Asmodel with the Punisher staff. So usually this is a very huge damage team. We're also running a Snowheart to mess with enemy teams that have energy feed set up. So this is a nice thing to have on Queen. And then lastly, we have our Sword Flash with that Augustus Magic Ball. So we're going to jump into some fights. Normally this team does pretty good. I mean, energy feed's kind of on its way out in the endgame PvP meta. There's better teams to be built. I just haven't really had the time to do any building or theory crafting or anything lately with the baby and everything. But the team is our guild leader. Jesus is here with the good old Rose skin in the portrait. So he is running a deer pet, 21 million power. I think my team's only like 18 or 19 now, something like that. Actually, what is my team? 18, about 18.8. So we're a little behind in power. That kind of just depends on the heroes you have in the lineup. But as you guys see, Eloise in slot 1 is amazing. There's a carry here. Now, why is there a carry here? Because there's two Andreas for a ton of healing and buffs for your team. Yes, there is an Aida here as well and a Transcendence Asmodel. So overall, really cool hero setups. I mean, maybe we could try to do something like this on our account with light heroes. I mean, like, substitute a carry maybe for Michelle. Not as good by far, but maybe. And, you know, maybe throw in another hero instead of Eloise. Maybe throw the Queen in. I don't know. The Eloise is very strong, as you will see here. And there's a reason why there's an Aida in this lineup. Why? Because most people are trying to counter Starwing Jaras in the very late game right now because the CC is absolutely crazy. So most people are running Purify for crowd control. What does that mean? Well, heroes that have mark damage like Aida and dot damage like Eloise become very strong because you cannot remove those effects with Purify anymore because it's not the blanket end-all be-all Purify. We're going to jump into these fights. We're going to use our normal lineup we do. Watch and see what happens because this is a really, really cool fight. You initially see our team starting to do good. It's like, oh yeah, we're wrecking them. We already killed an Andrea. We're actually working good. The problem is this team has so much healing and survivability. Actually, we might get a win. I'm going to say this right out. We might get a win because we actually CC the Eloise. And Eloise is one of the highest damage dealers. Watch this be like the one fight I can actually win. Actually, this might be the one fight we actually win. I can't tell you how many times we have lost against this team right here. Now, this is not a very impressive showing for me trying to highlight Jesus' team. This is literally one of the first fights I've like ever won against this team. Oh my God. All right, let's run it back. Let's run it back and show you how it normally works. I mean, there's no, unless he just changed something, which I mean he might have, but you'll notice we did not CC Eloise this time. That's a big difference. I have seen a variant of this team as well that drops one of the Andrea and runs a queen in the back line, but this is looking how normal fights go, and it looks like we're in a good spot, but we end up kind of starting to lose pretty hard here. All right, now heroes are going to start dying. The carry is going to come back. The carry might die again, but even if the Eloise is dead, we still have an Aida and an Asmodel to deal with, and we have this Andrea that just has insane healing. The carry is going to come back. The carry is going to start dodging. You're down to just your sword flash, and we're taking end of round damage as well from the Aida. You just see how much chunk damage we lost there. And then Shia uses an active, and again, Aida's ability just kills her. So that's pretty much how the game goes. You'll notice on a lot of these, Aida and Eloise are some of the top damage dealers here. We'll run it back a few more times just so you guys can see a couple different scenarios and how this works out. Now, it's really interesting because the fights I was doing before, the Andrea was not dying that easily. So I don't know what happened. Usually the carry was the first one to be targeted. We're going to have to see how this works out because, again, the only times I seem to have a chance to beat this team is if Eloise is just 100% locked down all the way to her death. Like this right here is one of the few scenarios where it looks like we can beat this team. And again, you got to remember, yes, we have an energy feed setup going on our team, but it's not really that amazing in the end game. We're honestly getting a little lucky here with our Jara. Although I can't believe we're actually getting W's here, which is kind of crazy. It's not making for a good video because my whole thing was I fought this fight so many times. I think I smashed against Jesus 30 times, 25 to 30, and I think I only won a single fight. I wonder if he changed something up between when I was doing my battles and when I'm now recording it, because I wasn't even coming close to getting wins against this team. Now, this is working out better for him, I think, although that Andrea dying is a very big hit to his healing. The Asmodel CC, we might pull out a victory here. We might. But when you're looking at a 1 Transcendence Hero team versus a 4 Transcendence Hero team, I mean, the team on the right is something everybody could build as long as they have a decent amount of Stellar Shards as well. Now, I think the big thing is having V4 on at least 3 of these heroes. Most likely. I think we still might lose this, mainly because of this Aida right here. The Aida is a huge MVP. She's tanky. She has end of round damage. She deals damage when you use active abilities. The carry keeps popping back. Like, we still lose. We still lose, and that was a very good start to the battle, which is crazy to see. And Aida really doesn't care if she is dodging because end of round damage just kills her almost every single time. This is what it normally looked like when I was fighting this team. So yeah, this first Andrea I don't think is useful. I kind of think I fought his team with a Scarlet Queen Halora before as well. And at least from my experiences, that queen did much better than this Andrea versus my specific team setup. But look at that. Look at that damage. Like, that's Transcendence Hero level damage coming from a team. So if you only have 1 Transcendence Hero, you can still make an amazing PvP team. You don't need all 4 of the Holy Quadrinity or whatever stupid name I gave it the other day. You just really don't need it. What you do need is some really cool team building and some cool interactions between heroes. The biggest thing being everybody's going for anti-CC Purify, and Jesus's team literally goes and counters that exact team setup. Nobody is removing dots. Nobody is removing marks right now. Well, some people are. It just depends on your team setup and who you're facing, but the majority of people are not. So this one looks like we're probably going to get the W here. Yeah, we're going to get the win here. But again, look at that Eloise damage. Let's do one more fight. We'll finish it with one more. How about that? Last fight right here. Let's go. So yeah, that Andrea, I honestly think if that was another like very weak carry in his lineup, it would be even better, because if the carry does die that fast, well, it's going to revive pretty quickly as well. But it's also going to mean more healing for the team. Ooh, I think we might have a chance this time. Oh, that Asmodel is getting extremely low in health. He might die end of round. Very close to dying end of round. Eloise with these counterattacks doing a lot of damage, but now we have to deal with Asmodel. Oh, wow, we stayed alive. Is Ada gonna live? No, absolutely not. Yeah, and then once that goes down, we're pretty much safe. Literally, Ada feels like the pure counter to Sword Flash Shia in the meta right now because nobody's really going for that mark removal, or at least a lot of people aren't, because they're worried about Starwing Jaras and making sure that they can attack. They're also worried about Crew Stun Cheese, which is another big issue that a lot of people deal with. We'll do this final fight, see how it works out. This Eloise is kind of popping off this time. This Eloise is going to do a lot of damage to us. There's a lot of big counterattacks. Oh my goodness. Her damage is going to be through the roof. She does finally go down before Andrea can get a heal off, but the damage is done because you see those little slashes on all our heroes. Between that and Ada's end of round damage, like, just watch everybody drop like flies here. We lost the Starwing Jara, almost lost the Asmodel. The carry comes in. Holy cow. This is just absolutely insane. We use our active ability and lose health because of that Ada. And then end of round, we're just going to die. just end of round. Dead. Completely gone. Eloise is a monster at V4. So we're going to try to get the exact setups that Jesus is using if he's willing to share that information. He might want to hold that one close to the chest just because he wants to, you know, I mean, if you build something cool that people can't or struggle to beat, you kind of want to hold that strategy for yourself. But we'll see if he'll share it with the rest of us, because I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of you out there that just have a Transcendence Asmodel, and if you can build an interesting team, especially with older heroes like Carrie and Ada, that's a pretty cool setup. Like I said, you don't need two Andrea. If you have one Andrea, I'm sure you could throw another Carrie in there. If you have Scarlet Queen or another Transcendence hero, it can work. The big thing, though, is getting V4 on probably Eloise, Eloise, Ada, and Asmodel. That's probably big. Now, having 3 V4s, that's a lot of Stellar Shards, and a lot of people are not going to have it. You're only going to have like maybe 1, maybe 2. But it's something really cool to see. So let me know what you guys think about Eloise endgame PvP, especially with Ada 2. I'll see you guys in... What? I'll see you guys next time.